Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno, the founder of Roman Real Style, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 ways for the student to elevate his wardrobe. This video is in support of my article over at The Art of Manliness. You can go to the article by just clicking right below. In addition, if you enjoy this video, please give it a like here on YouTube. That helps me know that people like these videos, and I'll create more like that. In addition, if you want these delivered right to your inbox, go ahead and subscribe. The button's right here. And again, this is if you're on YouTube. If you're watching this embedded, you're not going to see that. In any case, let me go ahead and jump into this. So if you're a student, the first thing you have to do is change your mentality. There are 3 things about this. You need to first understand that appearances do matter. The example I use in the article, I talk about, if you go to a job fair and you're at Boston College, you're with 200 other students, you know what? Your education really doesn't separate you from everyone else there, because everyone else there is going to be C. And they probably a lot of them actually have a better GPA than you. And the big thing that's going to separate you guys is going to be how you present yourself, your appearance, because you probably don't have much job experience. And again, maybe someone's got like a 0.2 or a 0.1 higher GPA. But when it comes down to it, as a business owner, I know that if you've gotten in the door, if you've made it this far, I'm looking for the intangibles, because those are the real factors. When you have nothing else to go off of, you don't have a long history, those are the things I'm going to look at to make a hiring decision. So you have to understand appearances are important. All right. The second thing is that life outside of college has a dress code. So those of us coming from the military, those of us that maybe went to a military school or a school that is a bit more, has a dress uniform, we understand that there are uniforms and that there are reasons for them. Most people, though, that go to a, say a public high school and they go to a public college, they've never really had to dress well because they've usually been surrounded by people who don't judge them by their appearance. And if they do, it's something so slight, it's not a big deal. But once you go out into the working world, you're going to find if you get a job at AT&T, there is a dress code. And whether or not you go in as a vice president, whether or not you go into the mailroom, whether or not you go as an IT specialist, there is a way people dress, and you need to pay attention to that. It's not all the time spelt out, and you're going to need to pick up on that. Finally, understand fit. Growing up in the United States, most men do not understand fit. We wear clothing that's too large for us. We never think to take anything to a tailor. You need to change that, and the best time to do it is in college. Okay, so what are the 5 tips? Number 1, specifically, stop wearing t-shirts, start wearing polos, or anything actually with a collared shirt. I give polos as the one example, but I'm not against wearing flannel shirts or wearing something with a collar. Because look at all those t-shirts and ask yourself, could I actually wear a collared shirt? And would that serve just as well? Because a collared shirt, just because it has that structure, it has the heritage of a shirt that commands more respect. So always go for the collared shirt. Number 2, sweatshirts to sweaters. Okay, so we wear sweatshirts all the time. When I was at UT, I really enjoyed my Texas sweatshirt. I kind of wore that thing all over the place. But there was a time and a place for it whenever I was going to the gym, if I was going to go to a Saturday football game. You don't want to be wearing that to class. You don't want to be wearing that to your study group, even though it's comfortable, even though a lot of other people are wearing that. In fact, most people look like they just rolled out of bed and they're wearing their pajamas around campus. You don't want to be like most people. You want to, I don't know about you, but I look at myself and I've got really big plans for my future. And you need to dress in a manner so that you are dressed for that future. Part of that is introducing sweaters to your wardrobe. Sweaters are so much more elegant, they're so much more versatile, and you're going to find they're very comfortable and they look great. On a man that's in shape, a sweater that fits him well is very flattering. So look to incorporate sweaters. That's number 2. Number 3, the right type of jeans. All right, as younger men, we can wear jeans that ride a lot lower on the waist. We can wear distressed denim and torn up, and I guess, we're going for that whole rebel without a cause look. But as you start to graduate, as you start to move into the working world, you're going to find that there are many jobs that they will allow you to wear jeans to work, but you need to have a certain type of jeans. These are darker jeans. This is denim that almost looks like dress slacks, and that's what you're going to want to migrate to. Because if all of your jeans are distressed and torn and light colored, then you're going to, let's say you do get a pretty laid back job, you're going to find that those jeans are just too casual, even for a casual job as a programmer. So look to migrate towards dark, non-distressed jeans that are more mid-rise than low-rise. Number 4, repeat after me. I'm only going to wear running shoes if I'm going to be out running. So we wear running shoes everywhere. And what you need to look to do is to isolate those. Hey, these are for exercise. These are for if I'm going to be running around, or perhaps you're going to the gym in the morning and you just don't want to carry an extra pair of shoes to class. No, what you need to do is you need to have a pair of casual leather slip-ons. Very comfortable. I think actually in many cases more comfortable than running shoes. And the great part is they slip on and off. Upgrade your footwear. One of the easiest things a student can do. In addition, stop wearing flip-flops. And I saw this all the time down in Austin, Texas. Yes, I know it's hot, but you're going to look so much better if you slip on a pair of slip-on moccasins or boat shoes. Your feet are going to sweat? Okay, we'll throw some powder in there. And I linked to an article which talks about that in great detail. Number 5, pay attention to your face. In this, I would always see guys wearing baseball caps, and you could easily tell that they just put the cap on because they didn't want to brush their hair. Take the time, learn what hairstyles complement your face. And this is pretty important because when you get a job, you're not going to be able to wear a cap. Well, unless it's really, really laid back or you're working, I guess, from your home office. But most of the time when you're meeting with clients, you're going to have to do something with your hair. And you might as well start experimenting and learning about this stuff in college, because hair takes a while to grow in, to grow out, and you want to have some time to experiment. And why not do it in college? The other thing that you want to pay attention to is using the right type of soap. So oftentimes, I know most of you guys are probably using Irish Spring or something else that is a good general purpose soap. But if you're going to be washing your face with that soap, you want to move towards a facial soap. And the reason being is that it's just too harsh on your face. And yes, I know up till now you've gotten away with it. It's over time that you're going to start to realize when your face starts to burn, when you start getting a lot of redness, when you get that irritation, then it's almost too late. So go ahead and start now. Get facial soaps and use those on your face, and use the general purpose soaps for the rest of your body. Finally, learn to shave properly. So when you were in college, you didn't have to shave every day. Probably you could go weeks without shaving and no one's going to say anything. Whenever you get out into the working world, you're going to want to know that you have other options besides the disposable razor. You're going to want to look at straight edge razors, and you're going to want to look at safety razors. Long term, they're actually more cost effective, and for many men, they're much less irritating to the skin. All right, those are the 5 ways to elevate your style as a student. This has been Antonio Centeno with Real Men, Real Style. Take care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.